Ah, hi everybody. This is DearMamaSal on a Sunday afternoon, which means it's time for us to talk about coping with stress. And what bigger stress can there be for me than trying to sign in and for some reason my computer doesn't want to connect? Um, it is what it is. Move on. Right, here we go. So a very, very happy, hopefully, Sunday afternoon to a lot of you. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, it'll be Sunday morning, I guess, for some of you anyway. So I just hope that you've all had a great weekend. And if not, let's hope that we can make it so. For those of you who are new to the broadcast, Dear Mama Sal is not just me. It's a group of people who get together and chat about our lives. What we do is we talk about, on Friday lunchtimes, we talk about coping with feelings because we all have them or are allowed to have them. The Friday evening broadcast, we talk about coping with life, where normally we do cooking on a budget. And then on Sunday afternoon, we talk about coping with stress. And as I said, we all have it. So let's all talk about it. So if anybody's got any particular stressful stuff that they need to talk about, make sure you let me know so I leave enough time. On the opposite of that, perhaps the greatest joy that we've had. Hi, Autumn. Good to see you, as well as Jody. Oh, by the way, for those of you who don't know, Jody is our admin, and Jeannie's also here, and she's our backup admin for Jody. For those of you who might not have heard, Benji and Judy did welcome baby Isabella last Friday. So she's over a week already. And, such good news, right? And I'm certain that you all... Oh, gosh. We'll wish them all the best. And I certainly will pass on your thoughts and prayers. I don't mean individually, but group-wise, I will say that, everybody passes on their thoughts and prayers for, some sleep. Autumn is saying she's stressed. She's moving in a week and she has a sick baby. All right, Autumn. So here's the thing. It is what it is, right? That means you need more help. True? Because you've got to spend extra time looking after a sick baby. So maybe asking for help is a sign of strength, is something you need to write on your bathroom mirror, and get friends and family to come in and help you. Because there is no way, there's absolutely no way that you can stress yourself out, because then what you will do is stress the baby as well. So listen, moving is stressful, whatever you do. All right. And so therefore, do what you can to get help. Have you got help in moving? And so, you've got tons of help. You are a very lucky person. All right. So take a deep breath. It is what it is. All right. And just keep saying to yourself, okay, it is what it is. What's the next most important thing I need to do? I know what is so stressful about moving is you can't move it forward for another week, right? It's got to be done by that day, right? And so we totally understand. We've all moved, I'm sure, and we all understand. I want to tell you, one of the smartest things I did when I bought this place was to rent it for a month before I took ownership. And in that month, I literally set up, box by box, I would pack up stuff from my home and bring it over. The first thing I set up was my kitchen so I could make coffee. This, and then and the bathroom. So by the time the big move happened, my all my kitchen stuff was already in. The essential stuff was already in. The essential stuff was all in the bathrooms. Obviously, stuff that I needed to store in the bathroom, that came later, but what I call the get ready stuff. And I really want to say, that make sure that you make it easy and have, box with just your bathroom essentials in it, and a big box with your everyday essential kitchen items, and 3 boxes if you need it. So, if you unpack nothing else, you need those 4 boxes. Does that make sense, Autumn? And I want to tell you, you've already done that. Good girl. I'm very proud of you. And then I've been here 2 years now. We know I was away, because I had a fire. Um, I was away for 6 months, but I have got back, all right, because they had to totally repack my house, all right, and take me out of here. I still got about 8 boxes, but they're all stuff to go in the room that they're in, which is the studio. And I know that this hasn't been an important thing for me, but I got upset with myself now, Autumn, and I'm going, those boxes are going to be unpacked very soon. Why? Because I'm fed up with that room having boxes in it. And what I've done is I bought some big totes, and I may buy a couple more, big enough that I can be sorting into them. I've got one that's just got electronic equipment in it, and you would die to see how much electronic equipment I've got. I've got another one that's got kitchen equipment that I don't use every day. All right. And I haven't used it for nearly a year. So what do I know? But will I be able to? No. So now what I will do in a couple of broadcasts is I'll actually bring those big bins out, and we will try and downsize those bins with your help. How about that? I thought you guys would probably get a laugh out of that because, we're going to find all sorts of things. And how many times am I going to say, well, yeah, I've got this, but it's broken. All right. So our quotes this week have been about creativity. And the first quote I have is, creativity requires the courage to let go of certainties. All right. So you're going to be very creative in the coming couple of weeks, Autumn. I know that. And just remember, the most important thing when you move is to be happy. I wonder if that makes any sense to anybody. If it's a choice between laughing with the children, doing something playful with the children, and unpacking another box, play. It's good for your soul. Go. Please, children, help me laugh. Let's go play Simon Says or something, right? Do it for yourself, although the children will think that you're doing it for them, which is also a good thing. All right, so today we're going to be talking about cleaning. And I thought, and also a little bit of serendipity. I have been really struggling, just to let you know, that life sometimes just brings you angels out of nowhere. All right. I've been really struggling because I've had a major glitch on my website. I haven't used my website for a long time because it kept getting glitches in it. And in order to fix the glitch, it was going to cost me a lot of money. Plus, I was going to need to upgrade to something and do X, Y, and Z. And I wasn't sure what I should do. All right. And so what I've learned to do in life, and I think some of you know this of me, is I will wait until I get guidance. Something will happen that will tell me whether to let go of the website, all right, or not. And Jeannie, I see your note. I'll get to it next. So what happened was I I waited and waited, and I thought, well, if it comes to the anniversary of DearMamaSal, it'll be 10 years on August the 25th. When it comes to that anniversary, I thought I would then make the decision, either nuke the website, but I kept thinking, if I couldn't broadcast anymore for whatever reason, I would like to keep writing. I would like to write because I enjoy writing things, when I have time. And so if I couldn't broadcast, I would have the time to write. And I thought I would really like to keep it there for that reason. Out of the blue, day before yesterday, for those of you who are very long time viewers, Matthew contacted me and said, I see you've got a problem with your website. Would you like it fixed? And I said, Yes, please. And I went, thank you, thank you. So you see, I take that as a sign that I meant to continue and start doing stuff on the website again. So he's just working on it at the moment. I think it's working again, actually. So we will see what we will see. So isn't that kind of him? And I really, really appreciated that. So thoughts and prayers for everybody. But in the meantime, let's see what Jeannie said. All right. So Jeannie said, I spoke to a priest I know when I was at the grocery store on Thursday. I found out on Saturday that he has COVID. I decided to quarantine for a week, even though I feel fine. I would quarantine for 10 days. All right. I mean, if they say a week, I guess a week after you lost the symptoms. If you don't have any symptoms after a week, yes, I guess that's the right way. I'm not sure what the American dictate is on that one. I'm sure that you do. But quite honestly, if I had been in contact with somebody with COVID, I personally would isolate myself for at least a week. All right. Because I'd want this, I think they say a week after the symptoms have appeared, because it takes a little while for the symptoms to appear. Good point. Jody's saying, do you have any rapid tests at home? If so, use one. So good one. By the way, thoughts and prayers. Oh, maybe that's what you do is you ask your pharmacy to send you a couple of rapid test things. Because if you haven't got it, maybe you passed it on to York. It could be that you didn't get it. You got exposed but didn't get it. But you might have brought the virus home. Maybe York picked it up. All right. And I'm certain they'll deliver it to you for that reason. All right. So for those of you who are longtime viewers and remember Alice in Denmark, sometimes called Ace, you will remember I went to Vegas and met her there. I went to Vegas. And so I just wanted to have thoughts and prayers. You might have seen me put it up on Facebook, that she's lost 4 family members in the last 18 months. Can you imagine that? 4 family members in 18 months. So just devastating for her. And also, I was really pleased to hear from Kimmy that although she had a really bad reaction on the last booster that she had, and I don't know which one she had, and now that I think about it, I don't think she's mentioned that. Anyway, but she's saying she is beginning to feel quite a bit better, so that is delightful. So let's get on with the story. Do you all agree that a bit like you are not aware of making the decision to open and close your eyes every day, right? You don't consciously blink. Is that true? You just blink automatically. Maybe you don't consciously think about going to the washroom when you get up in the morning, right? It's an automatic part of your day. You get up, go to the washroom, and then everything else follows that. For me, it's like get up, go to the washroom, have coffee is a no-brainer, right? I think half the time I'm making coffee while I'm still asleep. So there's certain things in our life that we do automatically. And some of you do more cleaning automatically than others. So if you've got an immaculate home, you will know that you do a lot of things automatically. I need to tell you, my kitchen doesn't normally look like this. All right. I'm not naturally that good, only on Fridays and Sundays. Right. So I know that twice a week, this whole countertop area and all of this, gets cleaned off because, it's going to be a broadcast. So that's part of my routine. So I know at least twice a week, everything gets a good clean done. So here is what I wanted you to think of. Some of you will do this visually. Some of you will do it on a spreadsheet, and some of you won't do it at all, and that's fine, as long as you understand the principle. What I want you to think about is, how many rooms do you have in your house? And for those of you who are online, perhaps you could let me know so I can, sort of work with your different scenarios so that it'll help the people who are either watching in the background, and hi to all of you in the background. So those, and also for those who might watch in the replay. So how many rooms do you have in your house? That's the first thing you need to do. Happening now. All right, I've just got a delay on the chat here for some reason. Don't know why. Okay, seems to be working. All right, so, oh, I know what it is. So I've got 10 rooms or zones. Let me explain what I say. It's why I've said this. I've got 2 bathrooms. That's 2. I've got 2 bedrooms, one of which I call the studio. And I've got a craft area, which I'm going to call that a room. That's 5. I've got a kitchen, a laundry room, a dining room, a fireplace area, which is I'm going to call a zone, all right, and the lounge. So that's my 10. So do you understand that some things are a zone rather than an actual room? But that's what I need in my mind is that I've got those 10 areas in my house. All right, now I want you to pick one of those, Jody, pick one of your 7 rooms as the room you'd like to start in June. Because what we're going to do is we're going to work our way around. All right. And I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. And by the way, while I'm waiting for that reply, I thought, hi, Kimmy, I'm glad you're feeling better, honey. I was talking about you earlier. I wanted to give you a very quick tip. And that is, if ever you have to clean window tracks, all right, the tracks where your windows go, take a wet wipe. I don't know why. I normally do it in all sorts of different ways, but I've never taken a wet wipe, except yesterday I was doing something, and I'll talk about that in a moment. And I wanted to clean the window track, and I happened to see that I had my wet wipes near me, disinfectant wipes, and I just grabbed one of those and I ran it down and I went, that is smart. Not only did it clean it instantly, I don't know why it did such a good job, but it did, but also I know that it's got disinfectant on it. So what do I know? It's also sanitized. How many of you like that idea? And don't forget, you can drop those things in your wash and use them again. And we're going to be talking about that in a second. All right, so Jody said she wants to start in her living room. So everybody there, when you're listening, doesn't matter which room you want to start in, we're going to work with Jody so that Jody can get the idea. So Jody, as you look around your living room, because I think you're in there right now, if I'm correct, could you divide it into 4 quarters? Why do we want it in 4? Because this is week 1 of June. Right? So, and we don't want to overdo anything. All right, so you can get it into 4 in your mind. Okay, wait, which quarter do you want to start in? Which quarter do you want to start in? You're gonna love this, Jody. This will make so much sense to you. But like everything else, if you don't work it, it won't work. But if you work it, it'll take all the stress out of your cleaning. All right, so we're talking about your first zone within that room is where your recliner is. Okay, have you got a piece of paper and a pencil close to you? Okay, Kimmy, we'll deal with that next, Kimmy. Hold that thought and remind me to go back to it. All right, so here you go, Jody. Write down, as you're looking at you're sitting in your recliner probably right now. As you look around, what 5 things do you want to tidy up? Or deep clean? Think spring cleaning. What 5 things? They're things you don't write down things you automatically do. All right? Write down 5 things you would like to address. Make sense? And if you want to share a couple of those so that it'll help other people. Just to let you know, I started in my living room as well. And I decided that I had not moved my couch away from the wall. So I was going to start in that area. And yesterday I moved the couch away, and I was amazed how much of my hair had fallen between the wall and the couch. There's a space about this big, right? And my hair, obviously, I fluff my hair when I'm drying it, right? I think some of you know that. I sort of go like this with it to dry it, so it gives it more body. And it was so funny. Obviously, I've been losing hair, and it's been dropping down the back of my couch. All right. So, it was just like, oh, yeah, that was about time I did that. And by the way, with my new fancy vacuum thing, it was so easy to do. I was just delighted. And I could just lean over and clean everything behind there as well. So, all right. So Jodie's saying she says table. This is in the quarter of her living room. She's thinking about the table, the entertainment center, and the tote. All right. So that's 3 out of 5, but 3 out of 5 is nothing. All right. I mean, I say it's nothing. Maybe some of them are going to take a bit more. So therefore, you now have, if you just worked on those 3 this week, is that doable? Now, you can do it all in one day, or you can do 15 minutes every day until it's done. But you're not, that's your spring cleaning for the week. All right. Does that make sense, Jody? That's doable. All right. And that's it. That's your spring cleaning for the house done. All right. And then next week, you pick another quarter and say, what 3, if it's very untidy, what 3 things or what 5 things do I want to get done this week? And just keep working your way around until you've been around the living room once, and then change to your next area. Yeah, I knew you'd get that. By the way, it works really well. I work my way around rooms now when I want a deep clean. I don't try and do the whole thing. It's too much work. Don't have time. So do you all get the idea? I want to go back to the question that was asked here. All right. So Kimmy said, I want to get rid of the business stuff out of my room, but I don't have anywhere to store it. Well done, Kimmy. So what do you know? Before you can start cleaning, you need to think about where can you store stuff. So your business stuff, is it a lot of stuff? Is it something that would all fit into a banker box, for example? Do you know what a banker box is? You know what I did? You know what I did? Wait a minute. I want to show you something. Just hold on a second, because. Okay. I got myself some of these, Kimmy, and this one I love. I think even Jody is going to love this one as well. This one is my accounts. All right. And what I do is whenever I get something that needs to go into here, let me get a piece of paper here. Hold on. All right, so it's, a picture's worth 1,000 words. So let's say I've got a receipt or something, and this is stuff that I know needs to go to my accountant, right? and my accountant is my bookkeeper, Yvonne, right? So what I do is I'll take a receipt and I just post it. Goes to Yvonne. If I get a bill, I roll it up. How many of you are laughing already? Only Sal would think of this, right? All right. So I just roll it up like this and I post it. But the thing is, when it goes in, so how many of you going, that is smart? So all my accounts are in the right place. And then once a month, I go through, well, I try to anyway, I go through it and sort of put everything for this month into an old envelope. You know, maybe I've got a bank statement or something in an envelope. I get that online now, but never mind, an envelope, and I'll put all the June stuff together. Makes sense. So in fact, I should have done it already and I haven't. I should have taken the May stuff and put it in a separate envelope. And then I just keep posting for all of June. At the end of June, I put it all in an envelope. Clever? So, all right. So while we were talking about that, Kimmy said, I have it in a plastic tote and boxes. And so it's the only place I can put the stuff. Tried hiding it behind a dresser. It's hard when you need to get to it or covering it with a blanket, but I know it's there. So how much do you have? I also have shipping boxes. Yeah, UPS stuff, yes, because you buy and resell things, all right? So obviously there is something you could do. Okay, think about this, Kimmy, and I don't know the shape of your house, but think about it. Is there a shorter wall where you could put these boxes and then hang a curtain rail so that you could close the curtain rail in front of them? Still have all those boxes there, but you can just close the curtain so it looks tidy. Or maybe you do, let me quickly go and take a picture. Hold on a second. Kimmy, I bought some units that look like this. I think you know that. You have to build them yourself, and it's a pain to build them. But what I did is I put those in an area that's actually a cupboard area without doors, all right? But what I did is I pulled them forward so there's room behind to put big, bulky stuff. So think about maybe you could pull something forward and store those shipping boxes and things behind something that's against a wall at the moment, like a dresser, maybe a bookcase. You know, move it forward and then put them behind. Does that make sense, Kim? Anybody else got any suggestions? But the most important thing is, have something that you can move. So maybe you need a bookcase on wheels. Think about that, putting wheels on a bookcase so you can slide it away, get to whatever you want, and then slide it back again. You've done that. You see, you've done all the right things. So you're saying that you've got to get rid of all the stuff in your living room. Maybe you need a bigger place. Or you need, do you have a spare bedroom? I ask this question of a lot of people these days. Do you have a spare bedroom or do you have a dining room? All right. And how much do you use those two rooms? That's what you've got to think of. I decided when I came back into the house that I really don't have visitors enough to have a spare bedroom. I would rather use it for myself all year than have it, feel badly about messing it up because, I might have guests. Well, hello, if I have guests, let them stay at the local bed and breakfast. That's what I've decided. Okay, so you're saying you've got this, but he doesn't want it in any other room. He being your husband? Well, then get over it. Keep going, keep doing what you're doing, and stop trying to have the perfect living room if it's an office. And maybe you turn the spare bedroom into a quiet living area. Or, I know one person who had an area and they just put bifold, got somebody to come in and put sliding doors across it, or bifolds, and so you can make more space. Now, Jody had a problem, which was she needed to put a bed into her living room, all right, when she got pretty sick. And so that was a major reorganization, but she had to let go of having the perfect living room because the bed was a no choice thing. She had to have it in that room. Makes sense. So maybe you need to let go of the need to have a perfect living room. And something that I think a lot of people will understand, Kimmy, is more and more people are working from home. Good. She's saying that's what I'm thinking of, looking for bifold doors or to make them. Yes, if you have the ability to make it. And I know that my sister, let me show you what she did. Or I could do in my place, except I'm not going to because I like the space. But if you like, this is all my living area and kitchen and dining room and everything is this end of the house. And then I've got the center part of the house, Kimmy. And in it, there aren't any walls inside it. Hi there, Elizabeth. What do we call you, Elizabeth? Where are you from? Do you like Liz? Do you like Elizabeth? I presume Elizabeth, because that's what your name is there. Welcome. How did you find us? Okay, so let's say this is my central area. It doesn't have any walls, but as some of you know, I've got my freezer here because my laundry room is opposite there, so I can walk out and fold things on my freezer. This is my craft area, all right? And I love having this space here because whenever I get Amazon or UPS type deliveries, I immediately take the box here and put it on the freezer. And then I lean forward because here on my desk, I've got a L-shaped desk unit here. On my desk, I've got all the scissors and cutters and everything else. All right. So I can just lean forward, grab the right scissors or box cutter or whatever I need. So that works really well for me. It's like a central place. But here's what I could do, and people have done, which is I could put bifold doors in. Let's say this is the freezer. I could put bifold doors right across here in front, behind the freezer, and then cut off all of this area. All right. And then it would look very pretty all the time. And, but then you'd have to have the space to be able to pull those doors back. And that's why I don't do it. It would just take up too much space for me. But thanks for discussing it, Kimmy. So, Kimmy, here's the thing. Keep working on how to contain it. All right, two things. How to downsize it, how to contain it. Now, the boxes that you have, how big are they? Are they really big ones? Okay, hang on a second. Yeah, because these are like 1.5 cube boxes, and I have them sliding in next to my freezer. All right, and they're just in case I need big boxes. Anything that when it's flat like this, you've probably got. Let me tell you where else I have them. I have them in my closets. One closet, I've got a box at the bottom, and I've just put a couple of those boxes behind the box. In other words, I've got all my short hanging stuff and then a deep tote underneath it, right? But at the back of that, tote, I hope this is making sense. I've got some more boxes because I don't want to get rid of all my packing boxes yet. So there are places where you can put boxes. I have the smaller boxes in my cubies. So what I would suggest is think about it this way. What thing is upsetting you the most at the moment, Kimmy? When you look in your room, what is the thing that is the most clutter for you? And, Jodi's been doing this really well because it's what you see is what's upsetting you, all right? So if you've got an area that is all boxes and whatever, you got too much stuff. Good. By the way, have you got boxes under your couch? Broken down boxes. Have you got them under your couch? Have you got them under your bed? Have you got them, there's so many areas where I keep small things under other things. Can I tell you another really clever place to put boxes, broken down boxes? Behind your bed. If you've got a bed head, move it forward 6 inches and just start storing boxes behind there. It'll get it out of your living room. So my suggestion is, if you've got overwhelm in that room, just pick one thing and say, okay, this week I'm going to find my focus is on the boxes. How many can I put somewhere else? All right. And by the way, I would leave a list somewhere for hubby where the different boxes are. All right. Right. Closet and behind a dresser. I want to tell you, or under, if you've got legs on the dresser, you can put them under a dresser. So, but under the couch, I want to tell you, works really well. And if you're saying I haven't got enough room under the couch, maybe you think about raising it. You can buy little risers for a couch, either 1 inch or 2 inch or 4 inches. Just raise the couch up, and put those sliding units that sliding boxes underneath there. One of the things I remember from Africa, Kimmy, was that all the staff, because everybody had their own staff living on your property, and all the staff had their beds up on bricks. All right, they'd have a bed with feet on it, and they'd literally always have the bed up on bricks. And they said it was because they wanted to protect themselves from the tokolosh, which is like a gremlin, like a leprechaun thing. And but what it really was that if you raise your bed up that much, you got that much more storage space. And so think about that. I saw one house, which I thought was really clever. Think about all the wasted space you have above you. And I saw one house. It was actually a tiny house, and it was a brilliant design. They had, how some of those things go, and then here it's attached to a truck, all right? And it's got this like overhang piece here. What they did is they continued here and put in a false floor like this, so that this was about 1.5 feet or a step, and then they had steps going up to this level. And this, from the front, you could just pull out these long drawers, and they went all the way along. And so it was 8 foot of long drawers that they could put shoes in, they could put, all sorts of things. So get creative and say, what can I, what piece of furniture can I lift up by 2 feet? Right. And Kimmy's saying, all right, that when the pandemic hit, sales slowed down and it's gotten worse, right? it was hard to sell things. Things are slowly moving now. Okay, good. So, you've got to think about it that do you live in a flat, a house, or I don't know why I thought you lived on a farm, but I don't know why I thought that. Because maybe you can think about can you buy a shed? Anyway, think about it. In other words, how much of it do you use every single day? Maybe you use 3 or 4 boxes a week. I don't know, but maybe they don't all have to be stored in the living room. And that's what I've started to do, is I've started to downsize what I've got in my drawers and in my closets and everything else into what do I actually use all the time. And as some of you know, I've recently been, I literally started moving my winter clothes out. It's taken a long time for it to get warm enough to do that. But I am in the process of storing my winter clothes. And do you know where I store them? This is going to probably surprise some of you. I store them in rolling duffel bags. Greatest investment. I actually got them when I was had to move out of here, and I used them then, because I needed to buy clothes, and I had to buy a lot of stuff at the store. And what I did was I used these rolling duffel bags as shopping carts almost. But they were, because I was moving from a hotel to another hotel and then to an apartment. And so I had 2 big, what I call sports bag size ones. Do you guys know what I'm talking about, or do you want to see one? All right, so Elizabeth, I didn't see what you like to be called. Elizabeth, okay. You're Autumn's sister and you live in Florida. Well, hello, Autumn's sister. We love Autumn and the twins. All right, here we go. So Elizabeth's saying, when I clean, I organize my days that way so I don't get overwhelmed. Good. So I know that on Monday, I'm going to clean the bathrooms. So I don't worry about a dirty bathroom on a Thursday. That's what I do as well. All right. The reason I like those rolling totes is I made room for one under my bed, one it's got flat things in it, right? It doesn't go up higher than it needs to. The one that needs to be fully packed, I put it in my closet with clothes in it. Now, what if I want to use it? Well, guess what? I will take one of these boxes, make it up and pile stuff in there just for when I need that big tote. And then when I finished with it, I'll break the box down again. All right, so Kimmy's saying people want stuff for almost free, which I can't do. It would be like if I walked in a store and tell the store that I want almost free stuff. Yeah, no, if I want to tell you, let me give you something that I learned to do, Kimmy. I used to be a professional speaker. And you know how many times I get a call and they say, okay, what do you charge? And I tell them and they throw up most of the time. And, they say, oh, we can't afford that. So I'd say, okay, how much can you afford? And they'd tell me, and I said, how much of my speech would you like me to drop? What? Well, do you want me to drop the time? Do you want me to drop the content? You asked for a particular speech that I do. So how much of it would you like me to cut out? Yeah. And 9 times out of 10, that would make sense to them. That, if you want to pay less, then I'm going to have to drop something. So, it's about a mental game with people. So, of course, everybody's looking for a deal, Kimmy. So that's why always have a way of giving them a deal. All right. So you say, look, I can't drop the price. but I can give you a deal on the shipping. Now, that's if you make sure that you cover the cost of the shipping and the original price. And so that's how people do it. You go, well, I could drop $5 off the shipping cost if you'd like that. So they feel they've got a deal. All right, so you've got the idea of how to do this, right? If you've got 7 rooms in your house, I've got 10, say, okay, in June, I'm going to work on the living room. And I'm going to take 1/4 of the living room and work on it this week. I'll do all the regular stuff that I do. You regularly clean this and you regularly clean that. So, I will clean the windows in my living room this week. Right? That would be a zone. Then I could clean my couches this week and under them. And I could, so you sort of look at it and go, break it up into doable things. Something, Kimmy, people don't really care about your costs. Do you care about what I pay to do Dear Mama Sal? Be honest now. Do you really care how much it costs me to keep their website up? How much it costs me in equipment? How much it costs me, left, right, and center? You'll be amazed. People don't care about that. So that is something, if you think about it psychologically, by saying to them, look, I'm sorry, but I need to charge that because I've got to pay commission to somebody else. They don't care. All right? It's not their problem. And so the thing is this, can you give me some words around the sort of things they say, Kimmy? Because maybe I can help you with that. In the meantime, I'm going back to the cleaning because that's our main subject today, right? So what I want you to understand is this, the smaller the zone that you're working on, the more likely you are to do it. So if you say, Monday, I am going to clean, and maybe you've just got a little spreadsheet that you can put blocks of stuff. Monday, I'm just going to do the coffee table. Yeah. Tuesday, the couch I sit on. Wednesday, the love seat. Thursday, I'm going to lift the carpet and clean underneath it. It's just like, just break it down into doable things. And if it takes you 2 weeks instead of 1, that's fine. You will get a lot more done that way than you will putting it off yet again. The reason we put it off is because it's too much, and then it gets dirty, and then it's overwhelming. I also want to tell you, I made that video about vacuums and why it's a really good idea to have the right vacuum for what you like, for how you clean. I want to tell you that vacuum that I got, I am blown away with it. I have to tell you. Why? Because, in case you don't know, because it is so practical. One thing I didn't know when I bought it was, let me show you this. If I want to clean under a couch, look how low it goes. All right? This will go under a couch almost to the back. I didn't know that when I did it. So it's, I'm amazed how many, when I'm using it as a stand-up vacuum, I'm amazed how I can get underneath a unit of some sort, all right? And then most of the time, I probably only use the vacuum itself a couple of times a week, because most of the time I'm using this part with the nozzle on it, just for, and it's just the right, I don't know how they designed this, but with the nozzle on it, it's just the right height for doing baseboards and things. I wonder if that makes sense to you. When I put the nozzle on, I could hardly have to lean down to do the baseboards. I just literally go like this. So again, think about, how do I make cleaning easier for me? And that is, I had to look for an easier way to clean because I'm getting older, got arthritis, things are more difficult for me to do. So therefore, it was, okay, I need an easier way to do this. Now, Jody, you're talking about the area by your recliner. Can I give you another suggestion, a possibility? And I want you to get really honest with me. How much time a day do you spend on that recliner? For those of you who don't know, Jody has mobility issues, and so what you are about to hear might not work for you, but it's part of Jody's reality. You spend the entire day. You don't go to the washroom, you don't go to the kitchen, you don't go to the bathroom. That's not true. But you're saying the majority of your day, it's your base of operations. All right. So here's the trick. You remember, you hear me say every now and then when we're texting, I'm about to do a rotation. All right. Because I have taught myself, if I get up to go to the washroom, on the way back to my computer, I do at least 2 or 3 things. And it may be make the bed, it may be scrub a toilet, it may be empty the dishwasher or whatever. But on the way back, every time is a rotation. And what I try to do is to do it in each room that I pass. I do one thing in each room on my way back. So if you think about it, if you did one thing to tidy up around your recliner before getting into it again, how much would you get done in a day? So you could basically make that your routine. And if you make that your routine, you would never have to clean that area again. I wonder if that makes sense. Why? Because it's part of your daily routine. You remember what we did with the bathroom. Don't leave the bathroom without turning around and saying to yourself, does that look like a hotel bathroom? And if it does, then I've got a tidy bathroom. Right? And that is the trick. Get rid of the clutter. I'm trying to train myself. I haven't succeeded yet. I'm working on it, to not go to bed until I've got the kitchen tidied up. I know a lot of you are rolling your eyes because you always do. All right? But I'm trying to teach myself, instead of going to bed at this time, I start thinking about going to bed half an hour earlier. Jody says, if I get everything done, what would I have left to gripe about? Yeah. All right. And Elizabeth's saying, I leave cleaning supplies by my toilet. Yes, that's another good trick. Well done, Elizabeth. I have a toilet bowl cleaner, a brush, and this sort of stuff. I'm not promoting it, but this sort of stuff in each bathroom. All right, I don't have to go get it from somewhere. Now then, here's a trick. How many of you have found these bottles with these fancy new tops to them? Dawn uses it, and now Mr. Clean uses it as well. But I love these. I want to tell you something that I think you will enjoy hearing. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find out where I put that. No, okay. Jody, could you have a quick look? How much would this bottle cost you in the States? In Canada, it costs about $5. Just so you know, all right? And you can buy just the refill. In other words, you take the top off, all right? And they do now make it so you can just buy the refill, and the refill is about $4, round figures, okay? Don't do that. Don't do that. Buy this, and then buy this. I did the math. This whole 10 refills. Do you want to have a guess how much a gallon of this costs? All right, so Jody's saying in Walmart this costs about $5 in the States. All right, Jody, can you see how much a 5-liter costs in the States? Oh, a gallon. Sorry, a gallon. I still talk Canadian. I live here. Because I want you to see, buy this once and refill it from a big bottle. And I think I found out I could refill it 8 times. Are you serious? The gallon is $7. Buy this once for $5, and then when you want to refill, buy this. Because this, I found that this top is pretty effective. I like it a lot. Is anybody surprised to hear that? I always say to you, whenever you can, buy big. So I know it sounds like, hang on, why would I spend $10 when I could just spend $5? Well, don't think just today. Think about this year. How long has this lasted me? I've just bought the next one. This has lasted me about 2 years. So how expensive is that? So think about that. And I know you're saying I don't have room to store it. Make room. If you want to save money, buy big. All right? Wherever you can. I just ordered toilet paper, and I bought a box. Right? Not 12 rolls. I bought a box. But I have a cupboard that is now my storage cupboard for large things. I have bought big packs of, as you know, I buy I got the wrong one here. But I buy my paper towels now that they are cut a square. All right. And I'm just using up the last of my regular paper towels. But they're literally got a serrated thing here. So you can either pull off that much, or you can pull off this much. And please know, if you get good quality paper towels, which these are, I use mine, and I throw them in my in my sink, and then at the end of the day, I rinse them out and I hang them on my fridge door. The pull-out drawer in my fridge, on my freezer, and all these paper towels in here are recycled ones. Where I've just, obviously, if it's got grease on it, if it's got yucks on it, no, I don't do that. They go onto my compost. But, if I'm just cleaning the countertops, I will just wash them and use them again. And I have got some of these I've probably had for a long time. Really cuts down the use. Now, you also know that I use a lot of face cloths. Okay. Think about this. Instead of using paper towels in your kitchen, for a lot of dirty stuff, I use a face cloth. Why? I can clean up grease from my stovetop, and then I literally just put this in my dishwasher. Now, if you haven't got a dishwasher, you can put it in the wash. But all the time, I'm thinking about what, I've always got room in the wash or in the dishwasher for one of these, rather than using paper towels. So think about that. I want to tell you that part of the trick about learning these things is to actually try them, right? Because I'm certain, over the years, I've given you all sorts of different tricks that I have found that work for me, but I wonder how many you've actually tried. All right. And, at the time you went, oh, that's a good idea. I have to try that, but you don't. And so the trick is, if you haven't tried cleaning your house by, drawing a picture of your house and literally cutting it up into little segments, into zones, and say, this week I'm going to concentrate on this corner. All right. Just this corner. Because you will clean up everything else automatically, but that corner will get properly cleaned. The dust bunnies will have to find a new place to find home. It'll smell clean, it will look clean, and you will feel so much better about it. But now let's talk about the downside. What stops you? You know yourself. So there you are. You're thinking about doing it, but you don't actually do it. What stops you? What's stopping me? All right, let me give you an example of that. You all know I want to empty those last 10 boxes. And I'm pretty sure that what's in them is a lot of art stuff, and then an awful lot of papers, old papers and things are in there. And I reckon it's the best place for them to be. So let's think about what I've got. All right, so Jodie's saying what stops her is overwhelm. Break it down into smaller things, all right? Elizabeth is saying, I don't do this, but you can make your own cleaning wipes from cutting a roll of paper towel in half. Yes, stick it in a container with homemade cleaner. I want to tell you that I recycle mine all the time, but I keep them dry, Elizabeth. I keep them dry, but then I use this. All right. So I'll take the thing and I'll just give it a couple of squirts and then use it. Jodie's saying, I just don't know where to begin, so I don't. Well, here's the trick. Jodie, will you promise me one thing this week? And I don't promise. Will you do your best to adjust your thinking on that comment, right? When you go, I really said I was going to do this, but I don't know where to begin. Then you answer yourself, Jodie, you go, that's BS. Yes, I do. I know exactly where to begin. I'm going to begin in this section, and I promised myself I'd start with the bookcase. So let me do what I can on my way back, always from your way back from the bathroom, Jodie. I found doing it on the way to the bathroom can be dangerous. If you're anything like me, all right? Do it on the way back from the bathroom. And then, it's my thing. Have I done something on the way back to the computer? Yes. That's good. It's another thing done. It's another thing done. Yeah, I knew you'd understand that, Jodie. So the other thing is sometimes it's worth just sitting for a while, Jodie, and looking at that corner and going, in what order do I want to do it? Right. Elizabeth saying, when I don't know where to start, Jodie, I start by making my bed. Yes, that to me is part of my daily routine, though. All right. So my daily routine is to get up, go to the washroom, make coffee, sit down, answer emails and things. Then I brew a second cup of coffee, and that one I take and I go and get dressed normally. Right. And that's what I do is I do things a lot on my bathroom trips, Jodie. And literally I go, okay, fine. The first bathroom trip, I tidy up the bathroom. The second bathroom trip, I make the bed. Yeah, I go there quite a bit during the day. So, to me, it's part of my routine now. That's why you'll hear me say, it's time for me to start another rotation. So part of me also includes fresh air in that, right? Which is I normally go outside and do things before I get properly dressed, because I nearly always have my dirty clothes and I can put those on and quickly go outside and play in the garden in my dirty, well, these aren't dirty yet, but in my dirty clothes. And I put those on to go do work in the garden, yesterday's clothes, so that I can then come in and get clean and put on clean clothes. All right. I try not to get dirty in clean clothes. Do any of you keep your clothes in outfits rather than all your t-shirts together, all your thing? I've started, and something Beth said quite a while ago, and I went, I want to try that. Remember, creativity is half the problem. Changing your routine is half the problem. And I thought, I listened to what Beth said, and she said she gutted her closet of clothes and only left in outfits. All right. So in other words, I know that this top goes with these pants, and maybe I've got another top that I like with it. Or maybe I've got a tank top that I could wear with it. I would keep those things together. So when I decide it's pink day today, all right, my decision is, do I want to wear a tank top or a t-shirt top? But they're all together. And then, if you keep your clothes in outfits, and I hang them together. And I've started another thing that I'm doing, is that I keep the next 2 days' clothes in my bathroom. Right? So, and so I can have a choice every morning, this or this. But I've already made that decision the night before. I just always try and have 2 sets of clothes hanging on the back of the door in my bathroom. So, I don't have to think in the morning when my brain doesn't function very well. Elizabeth's saying, yes, we almost always start our morning outside. It really helps. I think getting 10 minutes, 15 minutes of fresh air. You will hear me, if you talk to me during the day, you'll hear me say I've done my first bit of outside. Because at least 2 or 3 times a day, I try and go out for at least 15 minutes and get fresh air. And during that 15 minutes, I leave my door open so the fresh air gets into my house. Now, I understand that some of you may think that that is dangerous, but it's, I'm always in sight of that door, so it's not a problem. Or if you're not going to do that, open up the windows while you're outside getting fresh air. The reason is, when you come back in again, even if the house is cooler than usual or hotter than usual, you won't notice it because you've been outside. And then you can close the windows and cool the house down or do whatever you want to do. Talking of which, some of you know I got myself a mobile air conditioner. And the funniest thing happened. When Dougie came to visit, I thought I'd give him the pleasure of putting it together, because, men like to do things like that. So here was the window, and my windows are big ones like this, but they go up and down. They don't open this way. They go up and down. And so the idea was to fit the vent thing here, and then it's got this hose that comes out, and then it goes into the back of this. This is the hose. And then it goes into the back of the portable air conditioner. Got the idea? All right. So here's what happened. When this thing came with a standard window thing like this, and then an extended bit that you could put in. Obviously, if you're going to go up in a window vertically, it was an extended bit. So Dougie said to me, this will make more sense in a minute. Dougie measured everything, and he said, this is the second bit. He said, cut it here. All right? So I did. So I go to put it together, and I take this bit, because obviously this was too much. So I take this bit and I try to fit it so that the hose is here, okay, into the air conditioner here. And it just did not fit. It kept going too far this way and was getting in the way of the hose attachment thing. And I thought, why on earth would Dougie completely mismeasure that? And I thought I must be being a bozo. So, I tried 7 ways from Sunday to do it. And then after about half an hour, I hope you guys start to laugh with me. After about half an hour, I thought, maybe I wasn't meant to use the big bit. And I went, what? I said, maybe, because that was the only thing I could think of. Maybe I wasn't meant to use the big bit. Maybe I was meant to use the small bit. I was. So I made sure I let Dougie know that it worked. Now then, my house, do any of you have a house with a humidifier in it? My air conditioner is also a fan or a dehumidifier, if you want. But I also have a dehumidifier in my laundry room. And what I want to know, do any of you have, one built in, maybe in a bathroom or something? Because mine is in my laundry room and it has a mind of its own. It'll be absolutely fine. And suddenly it will start turning on and I'm going, the humidity must be worse. And then here's the thing. How does that air get in my house overnight? Seriously, how does it get into the house? Right? And I'm going, I didn't open the doors. It wasn't going overnight. And, when I went to bed, it wasn't going. And now I wake up and it's going. And I'm going, well, it's going, Sal, because it's more humid outside. And I'm going, how did that air get in my house? Have you ever thought about that? And now here's my next question. For those of you who have air conditioners in your house. Oh, interesting. Isabel, by the way, said, I did lots of your gizmos, like the dishwasher soap, the plants, the onions, the dessert, the recycling. See? And I hope it's helped make your life easier. Because the things I share with you are things that I found have worked for me. Jody, if you've got an air conditioner, you probably have a dehumidifier ability. Yeah, so Jody, you know me. I'm sitting there going, how did you get in? Did you knock? Did you ring the doorbell? Because I can't remember opening a door to let you in. And I'm pretty sure it's all the cracks and creases and everything else, but I'm going, that must be quite a lot of air that comes in overnight, that my little machine knows that it's time to turn on. So anyway, I got the air conditioner hooked up. How many of you know getting a new gizmo working is stressful? Right? And how many of you are what I call, I'll put it together first and I'll only read the instructions if it doesn't work. I don't know if any of you are in that category. I always reckon they just write the instructions for people who are not as smart as I am. And, I actually consider it quite, quite demeaning when I have to check the instructions. But I'm learning not to do that as much now because I'm older and I'm inclined to make more mistakes about it. And I don't have as much money to waste as I did. So I get this thing and I get the window section all hooked up and that's fine. And I get everything else. And then I had to turn it on. I don't know about you, but it's just like that moment of stress. Do any of you relate to this at all? Yeah, it's like, I hope I did all the right things. And then you sort of go, and I jumped back in case it exploded or did something. But anyway, I pressed it, and that's fine. And then, yeah, see, Jodie's saying she's quite the opposite. She'll read the instructions 3 times before beginning a project. You see, that depends on your personality type, all right? And I'm certain there are other viewers that totally relate to the fact that, I always used to say that whenever I was speaking and talking to a large audience, I'd get people to put their hands up, and I go, how many of you built something with IKEA? And And we're in the category of people that only read the instructions when everything else fails. And, you know, a lot of people, most people will put up their hands and I go, and how many of you ended up with 3 extra screws? And if you did, keep your hand up. You'll be amazed how many of did. And I said, let me tell you about those other people who check the packing list against what they got and count the screws before they start. They know at the beginning they've got 3 extra screws. So when they get to the end, they don't feel that they've done something wrong. I said, you know, but to me, the most fascinating thing about people is, what do you do with the 3 extra screws? Right? Do you doubly check everything to make sure you got all the screws in? Do you huck the screws away and get rid of the evidence? Or do you carefully put them away in case you find out where they should have been? But you see, the people who read the instructions already knew there were 3 extra screws, so they don't really care. They're probably complaining because they paid for 3 screws they don't need. You know, and it's just, it depends on your personality as to which of those things you do. Which is the right way? Your way. We know that. Your way is the right way. Jody's saying those screws run away with the socks that the dryer eats. Yeah. I know people, Jody, you know those little hair clip things? Do you know what I'm talking about? They're about this big, and we used to clip them in our hair. Yeah, if you've got any of those lying around, put the socks in the wash with one of those holding 2 socks together. Or, here's the other thing. Put all your socks into a lingerie bag, not into the regular dryer. Not into the regular washer, loose. Right? Put them in a container. That you won't lose nearly as many. But I understand what you're saying. By the way, do you know what to do with one sock? Hang on. One sock. Hang on to it. Why? I am busy filling up a pantyhose, a knee-high, with torch-shell liners. All right, these aluminum ones. I'm going to say aluminum. People in England will understand that. All right, I put mine in here. And what will happen is when I've got this full enough, which it nearly is, I will just tie a knot in here, okay, and then slip this into a sock and tie a knot in it. And this goes in my dryer. I keep all my aluminum foil. I clean it off, and if it's worn, and I always reuse it. But if it's worn to the point that it's getting holes in it, I will really give it a good clean. Excuse me. And then I store it. I got a sock inside a sock here. All right, I'm not going to undo the second one, but what I've got is aluminum foil in here. All right, used aluminum foil that is clean, obviously. But I don't need to buy dryer sheets. And this stops the static. Reuse the sock. And don't throw these away. It'll save you. As you can see, I've just about got enough to put in a sock now. And what surprises me, I can show you. Actually, I can put it in here now because this is an old bra bag for the laundry. I wonder if I can get it open. Yep. This is I've probably been using this for 2 or 3 years, quite honestly. Yeah, and guess what was in it? Can you see tart shells and some aluminum foil? And this is after about 3 years. It's still working. But it's done its thing. It can go now. And if you haven't tried it, don't knock it until you've tried it. So it's so funny because I took some wash out recently. You know, I washed my summer clothes before I put them in the cupboard and the closet, and some of it was a bit staticky. And I went, did I forget to put in the anti-static sock? And I went to the laundry, and sure enough, it was sitting on top of the dryer. And I'm going, well, you don't do much good sitting on top there. You're meant to be inside. So, all right. Anyway, I hope that made some sense today. Cleaning is as difficult as you want to make it. If you think about, and I always say this to you, think about hotels. How do they keep those rooms so clean? They have literally a working sheet of paper, right? That they have to tick off. Have I cleaned the bedside tables? Yes. Have I done this? Have I done that? Have I done that? And they physically need to tick it off and put their initials next to it. And then every quarter, I am sure they have, or maybe once a month they have you cleaned inside the bedside tables? Have you cleaned inside the closet? Have you cleaned inside? You know what I'm saying? They don't leave it to your memory. This is, check it off. For those of you who are good on spreadsheets, you can do one page on a spreadsheet and you will get most of do not put on anything you do without thinking. Don't put on do the wash. You know you're going to do the wash. Don't put in, load the dishwasher. You know you're going to do that anyway. Don't put in whatever, all right? Make coffee, right? It's a waste of space. You do that anyway. Put in the stuff you keep putting off. And break it down into small enough pieces that you can do it on your way back from the washroom. And you will be amazed what you get done. This week I pulled out, I'm still working on it. So, my one goal this week was to, and I think I started it on Wednesday, was to get out my winter clothes. But that requires that I get out my summer clothes. That means I've got to take all winter clothes and pack them. And that's the bit I'm into. I've got all my summer clothes out and I've got them in outfits. Remember I was saying that? Try and hang things in outfits. It's a much better way to do it. And then you can, you might find out that you've got 4 different T-shirts that you're inclined to wear with this color. Do you really need 4? Right? Think about that, right? Maybe 3 is enough. So you know what one of those can go, whatever one you'd use less. And by the way, don't always throw away the oldest one. I've had this top for the longest time. Why? I like it. And it matches this nicely, don't you think? And I bought these 2 together, I think, when I went to Vegas. But I also bought the matching shorts. So I could wear this top with the shorts or the pants. I learned to do that with, traveling a lot. Always think I can wear this with this or that, all right? And so I've also got turquoise type colors that I can wear with different things. And the thing is, you can wear turquoise with dark blue, or you can, with if you've got denim jean shorts, you can wear turquoise with that. I also have tank tops. So I can choose, do I want to wear this with a tank top? White tank top looks great. So do you understand? It's just like, I want to make sure I got choices. Sometimes I feel like wearing a T-shirt. Sometimes I really feel that I should be wearing a tank top. I realize that I have a whole lot of stuff in my second closet that I have not worn since I got back a year ago. So now the big goal will be to get rid of at least half of it. Why? I know I haven't worn it in a year. Therefore, unlikely. Quick update on my weight. I'm down again. I'm now down 13 pounds this year. Most of it, remember what made the difference for me was when I heard, I think it was Benji who said it to me, or Jody. I can't remember which one of the two of them. One of them said to me, you need to know that losing weight starts in the kitchen. Getting fit starts with exercise. Because, I did all that exercise last year and I did lose some weight, but only about 6 pounds all year. I have now lost 13. I'm down yet another benchmark and I'm only about 3 pounds away from the next one. I keep doing it in 5 pound goals. It was Jody. Okay, thanks, Jody. Thank you. You've changed my life with that comment. That one comment changed my life. That losing weight starts in the kitchen. And, I've paid so much more attention, as some of you know, they've been watching me cook on Friday nights, so much more attention on portion control, so much more attention. And do I really, want to start eating yet? Stop eating because it's time to eat. It's lunchtime or it's breakfast or it's dinner. Am I eating during the day just because I was trained to eat so many times during the day? All right, Elizabeth is saying, I've had the same pair of exercise shorts since high school. They still get gross and I wash them and they've even stretched a little with me over the years. Yeah, I had a lot of them shrink on me. But you know something, Elizabeth? Somewhere in my shed at the back, there is a banker box full of size 14 clothes. I refuse to throw them away. I know I should have done. And I know because of the way I buy clothes that they will, actually I should bring them out and see what's in there, right? Because I buy clothes that are not in fashion. So I've got a pretty good feeling that most of them would still be okay to wear. Maybe I've got shorts I'd be able to fit into. I was wearing a pair of, what do you call them? Capris yesterday. And I really am going to have to take them in because I spent most of the day pulling them up. Now, funny enough, these have got a nice stretchy waistband in them. But you can see it's got a lot of room here. Hang on. Can you see how much room I've got? Because I was 20 pounds heavier when I bought these. So, it's like a lot of space there. But they're still fine. And I still love the color. So I'll keep wearing them until I wear them out. All right, everybody. I hope that you will take another look at cleaning. Here is the good news. If you spent 10 minutes a day doing something you don't normally do, your house would be a lot cleaner. I do know that getting the new vacuum thing, has helped me because it's all fun now, right? I think I'll get the new gizmo and have a little bit of clean around there. So at the moment, it's all fun. But, think about what you don't normally clean and just spend 10 minutes a day going, I'm going to just start systematically going around the house. And I don't care if it takes me 5 years. I'm going to systematically go around the house and do one zone. That's a quarter of a room a week. Can you imagine how tidy your house would be? 7 rooms, 7 floors, 28 weeks it would take you, Jody. Can you believe that? In 28 weeks, you would have a totally spring cleaned house. I would say in the months when you have 5 weeks, make that the months you do the kitchen. Why? You've got more drawers, more clutter, more, you've got to clean things in a different way. All right, so have fun. Elizabeth, great to see you. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you found it of value. And please make sure you follow us on Facebook and Twitter. So you will get notifications. Oh, and ring the bell here on YouTube. If you ring the bell, that also makes sure you get notification that you're going to do it. Jody, the only thing that would stop us is an excuse. Do we agree? The only thing that will stop you from having a perfectly clean house within 28 weeks is an excuse, or 10, or 20, or many more. So there is the trick. If you want a clean house and you're not naturally a clean person, make a commitment to yourself. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to do it for a month and see how much I can get done. Imagine. You'd probably get at least one room really clean if you did it that way. This is Dear Mama Sal saying, it's all about how we look at things, isn't it? The reason we cope well with stress is because we see it in a different way. We say it is what it is. Oh, I don't feel well enough to do it. Well, you're going to feel a lot worse if you don't. All right? Because you're going to get fed up with seeing the crud. And this is called, I just want to see that little corner clean. That's all I want this week. I want to see that section clean. And when I've done it, I can stop doing it till next week when I start again. And then I'm going to take that next section. Do whatever is doable, but don't give up on it. Keep doing it until it's done. It's like my 5 pounds at a time. I have been amazed at how much weight I have lost just by a little bit of intermittent fasting, a little bit of portion control, 13 pounds down, and I still eat dessert every day, and I still eat things like cream, and I think I've swapped regular ice cream to frozen yogurt. But, it's I made a couple of small swaps, but I still eat all sorts of stuff that most people would say there's no way you can be eating that and lose weight. Hi, Erit. Good. Shalom. Good to see you there. She's saying you're so right with the cleaning. I do a lot of cleaning, especially in the morning. Each room a day. Yeah. And so that is the other thing. If you're angry, go clean. If you're upset, go clean. Use that energy. Remember, Benji talked to me about that. Whenever you get frustrated, use that energy for a good purpose. And don't throw away aluminum. It's very useful. This is Dear Mama Sal saying it's been great having you here this week, and I hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. I've now got another week. And by the way, in case you wonder, how do I put all these broadcasts together? I do a little bit every day during the week. When I think of something, I will put it into the computer. I only put it together just before the broadcast that I want. But literally during the week, I keep inputting stuff so that by the end of the week, I keep going, they'd probably like to hear about that. I think I'll add that in. Or, oh, that's good. I must mention that to my viewers. So that's how I do it. All right. And, it's like if you make it part of your routine, it all comes together. And by the way, if like me, you have a really big challenge, like what do I do about the website? And if you stop thinking about you've got to make a decision, and I'm going, it's broken. The website is broken. They've got a stop on it. You can't get into it. And I'm going, I know, but it's not going to get any worse right now. So it can just stay there like that. Well, what if somebody tries to get to it? Well, they won't be able to. And it was just like, just leave it. And then I got this magical little note on Google one day, which is, hey, Sal, I see your website's broken. Would you like it fixed? And I said, yes, please. Miracles do happen. This is Dear Mama Sal saying, please look after one another and most of all, look after yourself. All right. And, Autumn, I know you're moving. If you're still with us here, all the best for the move. Jody, could you make a note so we remember to check on that next week? This is Dear Mama Sal saying, Jody, thank you for all your help, and Jeannie for being there as backup. We'll see you on Friday. This is Dear Mama Sal saying, bye-bye for now.